Welcome back. Now to some company news. Meccano International Limited has signed a partnership with German power generation firm MTU or Pt.3 Energy to on-site energy to deliver more reliable independent gas power plant projects in Nigeria. The Chief Executive Officer of Meccano International Limited, Mr. Mofid Karame, who spoke at the business dinner to mark the firm's 25th anniversary in Nigeria, said that the partnership with MTU is necessary to meet the power requirements of the Nigerian market.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Meccano International Limited is celebrating 25 years of delivering power generating machines in Nigeria. To mark its 25th year, Meccano is launching what it terms a more reliable diesel and gas independent power plant through its partnership with German company MTU On-Site Energy.
Since 12 years, we are trying to bring this company even to Nigeria here, and they think we was not capable to handle their product because their product is so much high-tech. In the end, 5 years ago, they've been convinced, and they decided to come. And we are really proud to be a partner with a company like MTU, a leading company in the engine manufacturing.
Both companies give presentations of their successes and projections for the future.
Flexible and dedicated system is the right one.
Although this is not the first time Meccano is partnering with the German company MTU, both companies say this project is just what the Nigerian market needs.
We are not only in this power gen business, we saw it in the presentations before, we are also doing marine engines, for example, and in this case, when you have an engine running on a vessel, on a boat, and you're somewhere in the middle of nowhere in the sea, and the engine is not running, you have a big problem. And this experience we also use for our power gen engines, and therefore this is the absolutely right product for such a high demanding market on power.
That's the essence of growing our partnership to the next level by assembling it in Nigeria. This to reduce the pressure on the Forex and have the Nigerian touch on it. That's why we have a steel factory. That's why we are a partner with ABB, Schneider and Philips for electrical components. That's why we are partnered with Stanford. So we don't have to buy everything from Europe and supply it. We have a beautiful collaboration.
With 1,800 employees and factories across Nigeria, Meccano is the largest assembler of power generating sets in the country, with focus on products and solutions, steel fabrications and construction equipment and forklifts.
More stories now. Leading electric equipment manufacturer ABB expanding its operations in Nigeria, and it's opening a new office in Ikeja here in Lagos. The new facility has a newly introduced turbocharging service workshop. It's first in Nigeria, and it is aimed at providing optimal solutions to the energy market. Well, according to the country managing director, Hani Abdulazim, the new location brings the company closer to the customers in different industries, ranging from the oil and gas to utility, food and beverages, among others.
After over 40 years in the Nigerian energy market, ABB is inaugurating a new office in Ikeja, Lagos, a decision the company says is in order to serve customers better.
We are investing in the very nice new facilities, in the new turbocharger service workshop, in the training center for our customers, in the showroom, to ensure that we are serving our customer optimally in the market.
According to the representative of the Lagos state government, the state provides a conducive environment for investments such as ABB to thrive.
Lagos has maintained a progressive record in terms of security. We came in about 3.5 years ago, thereabout. Well, we met a very good security on ground, put in place by Governor Raji Fashola. What we have done so far is to take it to another level. And we have no doubt that when our government leaves in the next 5 or 6 months, the incoming government will take the security of Lagos to even a greater level.
Then a tour of the new facility to see its features, the most crucial being the turbocharger service center, an innovative technology that guarantees efficiency in combustion engines.
By establishing the first turbocharger service station here in Nigeria will enable us to react much faster on the market demand that we see. The positive sign is we see a growth in the installed base in the Nigerian market. So for us it's very important to react fast to the customer requirements.
Whether you are talking of processing industries, oil and gas, offshore operations, ABB robots are deployed. And of course, within the electrical industry, ABB is a world-class leader.
ABB, which boasts a leadership position in energy solutions globally, says introducing turbocharger service in Nigeria is based on the value it places on customer focus and quality service.
More stories now. The management of Eco Electric Distribution Company has said that it will continue to improve its services in the distribution of electricity to its servicing areas. The company's Chief Executive Officer, Engineer Adeoye Fadeibi, made this known at the town hall meeting organized by the distribution company and the Consumers Protection Council. Issues of estimated billing, metering, extensive power outage and more were discussed at the meeting with a sharing of ideas on possible solutions.
Estimated billing, group disconnection, extensive power outages, community members replacing faulty electrical equipment, and lack of proper communication are just a few of the grievances some consumers of electricity in Lagos have brought to the fore at this town hall meeting between stakeholders in the Consumer Protection Council and the Eco Electricity Distribution Company.
Consumers are right to insist on paying for only what they use. Let's get that clear. That's fundamental principle upon which any billing or payment for services or products must be based on.
The managing director of Eco Electricity Distribution Company said the challenges are many and some are even caused by the consumers.
When I install meters, we have figured out in the form, Digisa, of our condition. This is my situation report to you. People's condition has forced them to do unimaginable bypasses that even the manufacturers of the meter, they came to sit and have a meeting with me that we want to see these scenarios. We thought it was impossible. It's not impossible. So if you see issues of energy theft, bypass, just picture that the bill is coming to you. Stop it. Call us to stop it.
The management of Eco Electric also gave assurances that residents moving into rented apartments will no longer have to service the debt of past residents.
If you are moving in and we have proof of when you moved in and you informed us of when you are going to move into that premises, definitely you cannot pay. The person we are going to ask for that payment is the landlord, who of course is our tenant, is our customer, because he or she registered that particular property before we energize the compound.
At the end of this parley, the resolution seems to be that measures are being put in place to ensure that the known challenges with power distribution will eventually be rectified.
Is to listen to your complaints and not just that.
Time now for business news on the News at 10 with Imana Amawe.
You First. First Bank.
Hello and welcome to Business News. The federal government is speeding up efforts to deliver a portion of the Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge rail project by February 2019. The Minister of Transport, Mr. Chibike Amechi, made the projection in a media chat during a tour of the site. Confirming the near completion state of the project, the minister explains that there are just 2 more bridges to be constructed.
Almost nearly all the bridges have been completed, nearly all, I didn't say all. And by the time we come on the 18th, if we're not careful, only one will be left. And that one will be nearing completion. The problem is now to ensure that tracks are laid up to the point where they have completed. But you see, that is not the completion of the railway. Then we'll have to include stations. So that's where we are. So what I told them is keep away the stations first. Can we deal with the tracks? So that you can run actually without stations. While we're working on the stations, things are happening in Lagos. They're working. They even showed it to us. They're having challenges. That's the greatest problem we have because they're having challenges. The challenges are numerous. We didn't experience those challenges here. They talked about being attacked by communities. They talked about being attacked by armed robbers, equipment being stolen. We didn't experience that between Abeokuta and Ibadan. So I've told them to also brace up with that and get the security men involved so that they can be protected. But I've said that before February, there must be a train that makes transport sense. What makes transport sense, I'm sure that's where you're heading to, is that you're able to leave from Lagos State to at least Abeokuta.
News and information provider Thomson Reuters Corporation has announced plans to cut 3,200 jobs. That's about 12% of its workforce by 2020 as part of a plan to streamline the business and reduce costs. The company, which completed the sale of a 55% stake in its financial and risk unit to private equity firm Blackstone Group LP, made the announcements during an investor day in Toronto, Canada. Reuters says it also plans to reduce the number of its offices around the world by 30% to 133 locations within the period, but declined to mention where the job cuts would be made. The Central Bank of Nigeria has continued its intervention at the forex market with a fresh supply of $210 million to increase liquidity after the Naira weakened by 1% at the parallel market last week. A breakdown of the total figures from the financial markets regulator shows that $100 million was allocated to the wholesale market, $55 million for small and medium businesses, and another $55 million for the invisible segment. Meanwhile, the CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has cautioned currency traders against hoarding the dollar or buying in anticipation of a currency weakness, as the regulator has enough forex reserve to defend the Naira. And days after hosting the African Capital Market to a program in Lagos, the stock exchange is set to host investors and key market players to another forum on exchange-traded products. Organizers, as well as invited thought leaders for the program, explained at the close of the market today that the session will offer latest opportunities in the world of ETPs. Meanwhile, renewed bargain hunting pushed the equities market back in the green zone after Monday's marginal load shed, with the main index still fluctuating between the 30 and 31,000 level. Let's join Chimezie Obiwago for a summary of today's activity at the NSE.
Thank you, Imana. I'm glad you could join us on Stock Market Report. The equities market rebounded today following investors' interest in the banking names. The all-share index closed 0.68% in the green. And looking at the sector performance, we can see that the banking sector was the major contributor to this gain, and the likes of GT Bank, Stanbic, UBA, and Zenith. Interestingly, the insurance sector regained some of Monday's heavy losses, and AXA Mansard is to be thanked for that as it gained by 0.18%. But on the flip side, the industrial sector was the heaviest loser in today's trading session, no thanks to Lafarge WAPCO. The company notified the exchange that it will raise 89.21 billion naira by way of rights issue at 12 naira per share by issuing 6 new shares for every 7 shares held by shareholders. And what happens in a case like this is that the existing shareholders will quickly sell their shares and use it to buy the right issues, which comes at a lower price. As a result of this, the cement giant lost 6 kobo, down 4.48%. In all, just a little over 2 billion naira was realized in today's transaction, and less than 200 million shares were traded in 2,802 deals. It's not yet uhuru for investors, but traders are really hopeful Santa Claus will make it to the market this December. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Chimezie Obiwago. Back to you, Imana.
Many thanks, Chimezie. On the flip side, it's a negative performance for some stock markets in the United States and Europe, following concerns by investors over slowing economic growth and rising doubts over the trade war truce between the two largest economies. Let's see some of the closing figures for today. And that's Business News tonight. Very many thanks for watching. I'm Imana Amawe. It's back to you, Gimba.
You First. First Bank.
On the news at 10, Russian athletes remain banned from international competitions after the IAAF upheld the country's suspension into 2019. That's the sports news. Stay with us.